I'm Tane, welcome to Draw a Crowd Caricatures. What I'm going to do with this stream is I'm just going to draw random celebrities in 5 minutes each, limited, and we'll see what we come up with. Just some digital caricatures, maybe a bit of color thrown in, but nothing too detailed, because so you know, kind of like in a live situation where you got to draw things really quickly of people's faces. So anyway, this was a celebrity I drew just before. Might just get rid of him now and move on to the next. Merge those layers and we'll go on to the next celebrity. So let's see what our random celebrity this time is. Lee Van Cleef. That is the worst photo I've ever seen. Let's do it another one. Helen Hunt. Oh, okay. Helen Hunt. Let's do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring her photo over into this program I have called, what is it? Pure Ref. So, and this is a program that lets you kind of just overlay a picture on top of what you're doing. So it's just basically just a reference photo software that lets you overlay blah blah blah. I'm repeating what I'm saying several times. So I'm just gonna, I've got a little action to set up all the parts of the layers that I want. So I'll just go ahead and set this up, and then we'll get right into the sketching real quick. All right, starting the clock. Let's have a look. Now I'm thinking sort of smallish eyes, short nose. From what I can see in the image, like I don't know much about Helen. I've already forgotten her name. So I'm just kind of looking for some flow here, and I think she's got kind of a flat chin. It might be the way she's sort of angling her face, but we'll see if we can work with that. So I've got that sketch down. I'm going to move on to the line layer, and I'm going to start kind of drawing it in a little bit. She's got kind of a bumpy nose, I guess. It's and then paying attention to the shape of the eyes, she's kind of got little squinty eyes. And we'll kind of just draw that in a little bit. And then we'll go ahead with the eyebrows. The eyebrows are quite, when I looked at this image, the first thing I saw were these eyebrows. And they just look quite interesting to me. Very different. Rather arched. And then probably just go ahead and draw the mouth, which I'm perceiving it as big, but you know, it's all subjective. And just kind of drawing the... My brush is going really quite slow. I might have to set the performance level up a little bit so that it can kind of keep up. Yeah, it's going really, really slow. We're paying attention to the shape of the face. And the face is kind of, I don't know, short and flat, so I might kind of bring the chin in a little bit more. Although she does have quite a chin, doesn't she? Again, it's all subjective. It's really what you perceive at the moment. So I'm going to bring that, it's kind of a sharp edge to that side of the face. I'm really having trouble getting the lines I want because the mouse is so slow right now. It's really not much fun. I don't know what's taking all the what's taking all the process on this thing. Gosh, it's just dead slow. Tell you what. What is going on? Is Obi the... Get rid of this. Apparently OBS Studio uses quite a lot of RAM, so like... I don't know. It's horrible. Ugh. Wow, yeah, I don't know, man. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't even work at this speed. This is horrible. This bear's investigating. Put the performance up to tops. This. What is the deal here? So we're plugged into the power and that's working alright. No. It's going so dang slow, right? Oh. Yeah, I use this is a Wacom companion. It's the first Wacom companion. And it's the worst. Because the power cord is so dodgy. Actually, you know what? I might change the brush. It might actually be the brush that's slowing us down too much. Because some brushes, you know, when you change the spacing, it really slows down your brush. So let's have a look at brush options, and let's have a look at the spacing, and I'm going to say, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to bring spacing up a little bit, and hopefully it gets a little quicker. Oh wow, yeah, gee, great job. Okay, I'm going to turn spacing off. That's terrible. That's appalling. It's just going so slow. That is absolutely appalling. I can't even take it. Up the spacing, and it's still going slow. Look, I'm gonna have to push through, guys. The brush is mega slow. It's mega crap. And I'm gonna have a whole lot of trouble with this slow brush. Because I guess I'm recording at the same time and it's whatever. Let's start again. I might go back to my sketch because I liked the sketch, but I might just go ahead and get another brush and just start again on this character. Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe I do need to reboot. I think that's probably a good idea, but for now, I'll just kind of push through and see what we've got. 7 pixels, 3 pixels. All right, stick it at 7. So I know her eyes are kind of. Are they spaced apart a little bit? It's quite hard to, you know, when you're trying to perceive certain aspects of people. There are some observations you make and others are observations that kind of work and kind of don't. And sometimes I only find out what I've done wrong until I finish, you know. Alright. So just going ahead and I might start that timer again, see if we can do this in 5 minutes. God knows if I can with this horribly slow brush. Now, I don't think her mouth is too, like, large or sort of wide. So I'll just kind of... Just kind of work with it like that. Do some little marks. I don't do too much tooth detail. Yeah, wide space. Yep. Wide-spaced eyes and squinty eyes. I do tend to agree here. I'm just having a lot of trouble with this freaking. All right. I'm gonna pull that forehead the forehead is like huge, but it's kind of leaning to one side because of the hairdo. So I'm gonna have that forehead kind of leaning one side, and gonna pull it right down. Yeah. Um, mm-hmm. And okay, I'm just going to come to the ear real quick. Bring that hair over a little bit. I at this point I'm kind of thinking that I've lost some likeness. I've gone off track a little bit. But what? Oh, yep. It's okay. The neck. My God. Let's bring that neck right out. What a fantastic neck. You know, sometimes in my caricatures I draw like large necks on people just for kicks. But here we actually have a real life big neck in the flesh, and it's beautiful. It's very rare to see in the wild. You gotta appreciate it when you can get it. And now, of course, coming back onto the, I don't know, the eye makeup here. Because, you know, when people have a lot of eye makeup, you kind of want to bring that in a little bit, because it's part of their look. And it's how, you know, makeup really changes how you perceive a person. It's quite interesting. I'll avoid using too many wrinkles, I think. But I'll just kind of see if I can complete this with this horribly slow brush. I don't really know a whole lot about this actress. I've already forgotten her name. I'm just going really quickly by the clock, based off one photo. Just kind of... It is actually easy to nudge the mouth up, and you could say that I've put a bit too much spacing there. Yeah. So, you know, all you have to do is select it, bring it back up with the arrow tool, and you're good. I'm thinking, like, at this point, you know, I've had a bit more control. I'd probably want to go in and fix those eyes up a little bit, but let's say like we're in a live digital caricature sort of environment here, and like this would be good enough, you know, like we've got enough sort of likeness to kind of get away with it. And if I was going to go ahead and color it in, I'd color it in really loosely. I mean, that's not to say like when you see caricaturists like in their portfolio and they've done a lot of really like amazing drawings of the celebrities that look exactly like the celebrity. You know, you look at it and you go, oh my God, I know exactly who that is right away. Well, they haven't done that in 5 minutes. They've spent like 30 minutes doing several sketches of that same person just to see which sketch kind of works out better and which sketch kind of looks better. And then they kind of work on that and they do some detailing and all sort of things. So, I mean, right now we're just doing some quickish kind of 5-minute sketches. And I'd say, I mean, like, if I was doing this in an event, it would be passable. I'd be okay with this. Now just adding in a little bit of, I know I've run out of time here, but you know, cut me some slack here. My brush is going slow. It's making me cry, man. I'm just gonna break down. I might just for your reference, I could add in a little bit of some hair detail. Well, actually, just some hair coloring. It's a darker sort of shade, just to kind of bring it through, because you know she's got a bit of the brunette happening. And pretty loose, pretty not so fidgety really today, and just kind of. Now, obviously, I missed out on the lip coloring and all the other stuff. I would have done a bit more. Like, check it out, you know, Yeah, color actually does really make quite a bit of a difference. And I would have, if I had time, I would have just gone in and made some highlights around where she's got highlights. You kind of people have highlights in different places, but it's kind of nice to have them, just because it makes it like straight up like a better drawing, really quickly. So yeah, I mean, pretty loose, and kind of a quick draw. Man, I wish my brush would just be easy today, and go a little faster for me. Pretty poopy. Yeah. Anyway, like we'll say that's done, and then we'll move on to the next one. Merge those layers. Free transform. So on my tablet, I've set up a whole bunch of shortcuts, so I don't have to bother too much. And then let's just move on to the next one. What's the next random celebrity that we can draw? Hopefully it's someone with a really interesting face. Oh god. Jim Henson. Hey, my man. Okay, if this is what Jim Henson looks like, I mean, because some photos don't really look like the celebrities, but let's go with Jim Henson. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to bring this into my program, Pure Ref. I'm going to have that overlaid. Pure Ref, by the way, is a paid program. It's like $30 just for the privilege of having a photo overlaid over your screen and stuff. But just for your reference, guys, I'm going to have that sitting there. I might actually have a look at Jim Henson on my other monitor, see what he kind of looks like. Oh, see, he looks a little bit older here. Remember, he kind of looks a little bit younger in these other ones. I kind of, all right. So let's move along. Let's go right into. Just getting rid of that other layer. Might even merge that one down so we don't have to bother with it. So I've got an action that kind of sets up some layers that I want to use, and it also sets it up so I can just go straight into the sketching phase without having to select the brush, select the color, and all that sort of thing. Jim Henson, let's go. Okay, so eyes are kind of, well, they're very, very small. They look big on this photo. I'm looking over at some other photos of Jim Henson, and his nose is probably the most prominent, as well as his beard. So if we went ahead and just kind of, all right, let's start the timer here. See if we can get away with this. And I might kind of, when you're doing a caricature, you've got to decide whether you're going to make the lower half of the face bigger or the top half of the face bigger. And in this case, I might actually, because beards kind of take up a lot of priority on a face, I might go ahead with the beard and make the top half of the face a little bit smaller in comparison. Now hurry up, brush. Come on, man. I already drew like 6 different strokes and you're still catching up, you mug. So let's go ahead and go to the line phase. And he's got a bit of a bumpy nose. Kind of hooks down a little bit. And those funky squinty eyes. And I know they look kind of big in this image. I'm looking at some other pictures of Jim Henson. He's got some squinty eyes, man. Some photos you don't get all the information. But obviously, like, it still works because of the fact that we're taking away priority from the eyes to put priority into the nose and the beard, which is what I kind of want to mess around with today. No, don't give me those straight lines. Alright, just going ahead with the beard. Now he's got a pretty bushy one. Why don't we work with that? Alright. And his ears are quite kind of large. Let me see. Yeah, he's got some pretty large-ish ears. You know, no disrespect to Jim Henson, because he's my dude. You know, he created my childhood from scratch with his crafty hands. And let's go ahead and just kind of bring that head up. I know he's got a huge forehead, but because I've chosen to accentuate the lower half of his face instead of the forehead, I'm going to leave his forehead a little bit smaller. It's its beard that kind of creates that look, I think. That Jim Henson, swagadelic street kind of dealio. Alright, so at this point, kind of running out of time, I might want to start on the colouring. Yeah, gotta put in the bow tie. I mean, come on. Gotta put in the bow tie. Let's go ahead with the colouring, and I'm just gonna choose some pre-selected swatches that I've already set up, so I don't have to play, you know, muck around with it too much. Finding the right colours and such. So just brushing really loosely now, because I'm gonna go over the beard with another colour. Hurry up, you stinking brush. Why are you going so slow? You're pathetic. Man, oh man. I just want to whoop your ass. Just a bitch slap this brush. This gosh dang... This whole thing's just going slow as heck. I know I'm gonna continue complaining because I can. Gosh darn it. Come on, move, boy. Move. Get out of bed. Alright, so we've got... I might change the brush down to a bit of a brighter red, so we've got those lips. And then we should really go on to... Oh, maybe I'll bring in some of that slate grey eyes that he's got. And we'll come in with some greyish hair, I suppose. Yeah. Pretty loose. I'm not getting the control I want because of this horrible speed on the brush. But it should, you know, get there in the end. I might have to put my timer up to 6 or 7 minutes, because this is very silly. Very silly. Not at all acceptable, you see. Not at all acceptable, my friend. I do not like it. No, 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 I don't. And I'm talking about the brush speed here. I'm happy enough with the with this caricature. It's looking okay-ish. Hurry up! Come on! Alright, time's up. But I mean, give me another minute just to fix this up a little bit. I probably would have done a bit of a couple of highlights. Might have gone in and done some shading in the skin if I had time. So a part of this stream is where I'd like to critique my own work a little bit. If any of you guys are sort of wanting to learn caricature, then it's good to kind of hear some critique, I think, sometimes. And I'm thinking about this one. It could have really done with... let's see. I like it. I think I like it. It's yeah, I'm gonna switch this up. This timer, I'm gonna switch it up to like 7 minutes. Because I can't work at the speed, man. It's crazy. It's got me hopping and popping. Look at this little bow tie, I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's good enough. If I had some extra time, I would have gone in and kind of added a bit more, sort of a low opacity, bring a bit more shading into the beard, like this. You know, gives it a bit more dimension. But overall, I'm kind of happy with that. It looks like him. It's got his kind of his beard. I probably would have made the beard a bit bigger, to be honest. But apart from that, yeah, it's passable. So a question was, how do I organize my layers? Well, I'll show you. Just after I merge these layers and get rid of them, I'm gonna just kind of... Hey. No. Free transform. I'm just gonna get rid of good old Jim Henson now. You can sit over here and you can watch as we play along. Rest in peace, my good friend. So the question was, how do I organize my layers? And I'll show you what I have three layers. I have a sketch layer, so I do a kind of a loose sketch, and I've got an action that sets up all these layers for me. So I've got three layers. I've got sketch, color, and line goes on top, and so the color can just go underneath and doesn't have to, you know, brush all over that sort of thing. Let's see what our next celebrity is. Let's have a look. Robin Quivers. Yeah, dunno, but we can give it a shot. Robin Quivers. I'm going to need a better image than that. Robin Quivers. Let's see what we got here. Robin Williams DVDs. Perfect. That's what we want. Robin Quivers. I'm not really familiar with this person, but I might just choose this image, and then we can just roll from there. Whoa, that's a hell of a smile. Let's do it. Alright, just zooming in a little bit, and let's get going on Robin Quivers. My sketch layer. Let's start from 7 minutes and see if we can get it done a little bit easier this time. So I can see already that her eyes they tilt upwards, and I'm not sure if that's because of the smile, but I'm just going to build that anyway. But right now, what I want to really accentuate on this person is the mouth. I can see that she has a prominent mouth, and I want to kind of work with that a little bit. And I also kind of want to... I probably wouldn't be this mean to people in a live caricature setting, but I'm going to maybe just accentuate the lower half of this person's face. And I wouldn't... Normally when I'm drawing a female, it's more flattering to accentuate the forehead than the chin, because the chin is a very manly thing, you know, it's a bit kind of... Alright, let's say we're good with that sketch. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but I'm happy with that. So we're going to go ahead and just... I'm going to start with the eyes. Making sure that they're both kind of equal in a way. And making sure that I've got enough of that eye makeup that she's sporting. And what I'm going to do here is going to start with the nose. And just kind of work from there. She's got very arched eyebrows, so I might kind of play around with that. And then I'll bring the chin out a little bit. But what I should do first is draw this mouth. So I know how big I'm going to make that chin relative to the mouth. Come on, mouse. Keep up. Jeez, boy. And then she's got kind of a squared chin-ish. At least it looks like that from the front profile. And because I've decided to accentuate the chin, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to accentuate the chin and not so much accentuate the forehead, even though definitely she has a huge forehead, but there's enough here to kind of get away with accentuating the chin. Just because I feel like it, you know? You could go both ways. You could make the chin larger or the forehead larger, but you don't do both at the same time. And then we'll just kind of move along here. I don't know enough about this personality, this celebrity in particular. So I'm really not sure if I've captured her very well, and I would probably say nah, just because I've really gone out on the exaggeration here, and but you know, good old color comes to the rescue most of the time. I might even do a lighter color than that. More towards the yellow spectrum, just to suit her skin color. I mean, it definitely looks like the photo. I'm not too sure if it would be instantly recognizable as this person. But that's okay, because really we're only doing the sort of the 5-minute quick demonstrations here right now. And I'm going to get my white, fill in all the bits that need to be white. So that basically means the teeth and the eyes. And if it would please hurry up. Let's choose a darker kind of color for that. And I'll bring it down to the red range so I can do the lips. And I really should, I don't want to leave out the eyes, obviously. But I'm just going to go really quickly and do the loose kind of outlines. And once we're done with that, I'll probably have, so I could probably just add some highlights. Actually, I might actually add a little bit of shading around the sides of the face, just for kicks, just for a little bit of added dimension. And then I'll really quickly add in those highlights. So, I mean, I'm just starting to set this Wacom up for some digital caricatures, live caricatures. So I'm just starting to set up my shortcuts and all that sort of thing and getting things ready. I don't have everything completely kind of set up yet. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. I'm good. So, critique, I would probably say next time I would probably choose to accentuate the forehead instead of the lower half of the face, just because I think it's more her thing. Also, I would have kind of scrunched up the face a little bit more. I would have brought the eyes closer to the nose and the mouth closer to the nose and all that sort of thing, but because of my decision to exaggerate the chin, everything's kind of spaced out a little bit. It's good enough. It's passable. It would have worked in a live situation. But why don't we move along and see what else we can draw? Kim Chiu or Lisa Soberano. Wow. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and get rid of those. Merge those layers. Merge all of that. And then we can move on to our next. So what this is all about, guys, like, if I kind of want to make this a regular thing, so you guys can check this out sort of daily if I can. And what I've got going on is I've just set up like a Patreon page, and I'm going to sort of start promoting that so that if you kind of pledge a little bit of like $1 a month or something, like I can do more and more of these tutorials, and I can put some more exclusive sort of tutorials and things on that Patreon page and give you guys all sorts of extra content. The links are just below in this little video, the URLs anyway. Why don't we move along and see what else we got? Jack White. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll do Jack White. That photo is absolutely horrible, so I can't see any of his face. Jack White. Oh yeah, he's a. If a skim milk carton was a person, it would be this guy. Let's see what we've got here. What about this image? Okay, I can work with that. I'm not really sure if it's because some photos don't really look like the celebrities, but I'd say that, you know, that's good enough. And we'll go ahead and just start up some layers and get going on another 7-minute drawing of this. So eyes, they're fairly large. The nose is there's not a whole lot special about the nose. The bridge is kind of bumpy, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on there. The mouth, yeah, it's more. I think that's the shape of the face and the way his hair is and his hat is probably the most like recognizable thing about him, and maybe his eyebrows, because they kind of yeah yeah. I did not hit her. Oh, worst impression ever. Yeah, he looks like Tommy Wiseau. He really does. Alright, so we've got our sketch. Let's move along. And we'll go into the line layer. And I might just zoom in on this a little bit, if I can. Alright, I can't, so don't worry about it. Now, if this brush is going to be nice and play nice, we can get some nice drawings happening here. I'm not really running any other apps aside from Photoshop other than this streaming program, which is Open Broadcaster. Not that I know of. I mean, you know, Microsoft likes to run stupid crap in the background, like, you know, Cortana and and like 3D Mahjong and like Solitaire while you're in the background, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know. This is the price we pay. His lower lip is quite a thing, I suppose. But he definitely has a lot of space around his face. What I might do is bring up some more Jack White references. He's kind of got this like Edward Scissorhands look going on. Come on, hurry up. And then we'll just do that hat real quick. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably updating all sorts of crap in the background. So guys, if you're watching this, oh hi Mark. Totally. If you're watching this on YouTube as an archived video, and you missed the stream, you can go to twitch.com/draw-a-crowd, and you can see live streams of me doing this there daily. And let me just think. Yeah, we could roll with that. So what I'm going to do is, I suppose we should do like, you know, the eyeballs, and otherwise it's Devil Child. Color, let's go ahead and do some really pasty, sort of Milky Way kid skin texture. Nope, wider than that. There we go, that's what we want. Now I don't think, I'm thinking I might have made a mistake with the width of his head, so I could actually go back and I might just kind of thin down his face a little bit, because he's a bit, you know, he's got some cheekbones, doesn't he? But anyway, back to the color. And going really quickly on this. Well, as quickly as we can, under the circumstances. I'm gonna do that hair, black hair sort of thing. Well, it's looking okay so far. But I know a couple of things I haven't done quite yet, which are very important to his likeness, I can see. And not just coloring in, but sort of color details like the shadows under his eyes. Now, hurry up, come on! You're killing me here, son, you're killing me. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I forgot actually to change that into white, so we'll do that. So whenever I'm kind of drawing hair, I kind of follow the kinda. I'm saying that word a lot. I follow the flow of the hair as I draw. And then I might kind of bite into it a little bit more with a bit more detail. I can see the sides of his head. Oh man, the speed, I'm really... This is horrible. Like, imagine kind of drawing on a pad and then waiting 5 seconds for your drawing to appear. Imagine trying to do that while you're on the job. It's sad, man. And then what we need to do next is grab some... Now this is really, I think, what we're missing out here. Yeah. Yep. We'll bring in... Oh, he looks like a dead man. Need to bring in a little bit more red here. I think, maybe we could stand to do a bit more shading around the face. I know I'm running out of time, but, you know, give me a chance. Ah! Ah! So loose. You know, he's got that sort of Tim Burton kind of dead man walking vibe. And shading, I think, is kind of important to this guy. You know, it's a thing. Now, you know, the utmost respect to Jack White, because I do like his latest album is brilliant. Just saying that as a disclaimer. Come on, let's bring some highlights into here. Catch up, come on. Yeah, do. Well, you know, we might just kind of bring in some detail there and bit of texturing on the hat. Who knows? Who cares? That's all good. Maybe a bit of hair texturing. That's always fun. So yeah, Zombie Boy. Come on! Sure, being fairly silly right now. You're being very, very bad boy. Silly brush. You know, I'll call that done and I'll move it along. Critiquing it, I'd say, geez, you know, I would want to bring more alive skin color into the face, like a bit more reds. You know, kind of just to make it look like he's at least vaguely alive, and still kind of kicking. Apart from that, like I would probably go back and look at some other pictures of Jack White, and get a better idea of his face shape. I mean, the shape of the hair really does kind of inform, you know, how a face shape turns out. But you know, it's good enough. One thing I think maybe looking at some other pictures of Jack White is his chin is probably equivalent. I probably would. I would have made his nose a bit shorter. Actually, a lot of his other photos have a shorter nose. But you know, whatever. That's good enough. Let's move along. I kind of want to switch this to doing some black and white drawings on actual paper, because this is working with this brush is just horrid. What do you guys reckon? Should I do some black and whites on actual paper, and you can see that on the camera, and you can see how I do that. I'll just go ahead and merge those layers and get rid of it. Yeah, bye-bye, Jack White. Alright guys, what I might do is I'll try and reposition the webcam, and I'll show you guys how I do a bit of a black and white drawing of someone. How can I do that? I can probably size this up. Is that working? And then, and I can have that sort of reference sitting there. Let's have a look at what's our next random celebrity. Tommy Lee Jones. Ooh. Tommy Lee Jones. Let's get some better images of him. Now this one's a bit tricky. I find, you know, drawing caricatures of people I know quite well, and Tommy Lee Jones kind of falls into that category. He's very recognizable. Oh, I love that face. Oh gosh, yeah. Ooh, man. Hey. I'll show you what I'm doing over here anyway. Woo! Yeah, fair enough. I'll meet you back here in 10. I'm going to go ahead and choose maybe this one. And then I'll show you guys what I'm going to do on some paper. Alright, just 1 second. So I use sort of an A3 pad, and let's see if I can reposition this so you can see this a little bit better. Doink. Hey, alright, that's not too bad. So I got me a razor, I've got me HB pencil, and I've got me pen, and this one here is a brush pen. It's called a Tombow pen, and there's one end has a brush, and the other end has a little nib. Let's check out that brush. Make some little bushy marks. Let's do a big caricature of Tommy Lee Jones. Switching back to hopefully you guys can see that quite well. Stupid browser. I'm just going to check this. Make sure you guys, yep, you guys are seeing that. Alright, alright. Good to go. I might even start the timer. Alright, we're talking big nose. And a big forehead. And some big, oh, those ears, they're fantastic. Let's get rid of that. Alright, let's work it. I might use a brush for the big old nose. Alright, so he's got, you know, I should really be saying, you know, what I'm going through, what I'm thinking here. He's got small eyes. That's pretty obvious. His eyebrows are, they kind of grow bigger the further they get from the middle of the face. So that's a thing. Definitely bring that in. And those eye bags are just part of his brand. They are magical. They make me dance. All right, so we've got that happening. So let me know in the chat if are you able to see this okay? You know. Let's have a look. I might need another reference for for the space between his nose and his mouth. Yes, the space between his nose and his mouth is quite good, quite large. Yeah, right. So, like, looking at this natural sort of brush stroke, like, in real time, you obviously get a lot more control with the good old pen and paper, you know. You always will. Always more control. God, he's got some funny patterns around his chin, doesn't he? It might just kind of... I should really switch to the big, thick outline. I like doing big, thick outlines for the edge of the face, so, you know, line weight sort of difference kind of makes all the difference. I think I lucked out here. This guy's quite easy. He's got a lot of cool stuff to pick on. Can you see the top of this? Let me just check. Yes, you can. I could angle it a little bit more your way. So he's got this hair comes down kind of... I'm just definitely kind of checking the flow of his hair, because I don't want to do anything that isn't there. And I could even go ahead and... What's he got there? He's always quite hunchbacked, isn't he? He's like... there's not much neck on him, so there's definitely no cause to draw a neck at all. Once I'm kind of happy with that, like, I'm not going to introduce color here, guys, because I don't think I have really time or the inclination. But I'm gonna spend a bit more time on the basic line work, and you can see where I'd go with this if I had, you know, a good amount of time for it. So once I'm kind of happy, I've got all the details. I like to go in and just color some sections. Bit under the chin, bit around the darker parts of the ears. Bit more volume. And why don't we go ahead and make a bit more of a wrinkle thingy happening up there. Okay, so that's oh, he does, doesn't he? Has a flap of skin on his neck. He's got those flabs that I'm not actually getting. Oh yeah, he's got that that sort of old man sort of flap going on there. Doesn't he have like a bit of a mutton chop maybe happening a little bit that I can't see in this image, but it's a possibility. And then we go ahead, and if we have some time, which we do a little bit, we could just detail some more of the hair. And I'm just drawing in long strokes that follow the flow of the hair. So, I mean, I've got enough of the likeness. think my critique with this would be that I would make the eyes even smaller. Because there's really no reason for these eyes to be even this big, I don't think. And I would probably be a bit more careful with the line work. I kind of rushed this a little bit. So the line work's a bit cleaner, but... oh, there we go. That's what I missed. Check that out. Oh, yeah. Alright. Certain forms of his hair do kind of make a difference. Yeah. So there you go, Tommy Lee Jones. I usually use a huge Sharpie to colour in, sort of... you know... parts of the image like this, but yeah, I mean, I'd say that's good enough. That's recognizable-ish. So, yeah, there's a little example, guys. What I think I'll stream again tomorrow if you want to catch me again. It's 11:30 p.m. AEST time. And I'll do it all again tomorrow, some random celebrities, and I'll take some suggestions from you guys. So, you know, go ahead and check out my my Twitter, my Patreon page if you want to kind of support me to create more videos for you guys. You can also check out whatever the other page is. Oh, Twitch, of course. I do stream on Twitch as well as YouTube. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, thanks guys. Really appreciate chatting with you guys and doing a bit of drawing, and hopefully I'll catch you again tomorrow.